Здравствуйте, товарищи, and welcome back to another episode of our glorious Workers and Resources Soviet Republic Let's Play. Yet another glorious day awaits our glorious nation as we continue to make progress towards the future, as we continue to develop in all senses of the word. I will not bore you with a prolonged introduction. There is much to get done today, folks. I just want to mention, as always, if you've been enjoying this series, if you would like to see it continue, please don't hesitate to keep letting me know by leaving a like and a comment down below. As always, it makes a massive difference in how I approach content on the channel, what I do more or less of, and how I go about doing it when I go about doing it. So, again, if you have any opinions, make sure they're heard down below. With that said, folks, let's get this party started, shall we? There is, like I was just saying, a lot to get done today. We discussed quite a bit of this during the previous episode, and in the comments of the previous episode, I have got some feedback and thoughts from all of y'all with regards to how we might want to move forward in this general area. I do want to just point out that as some of this construction happens, and it will take some time to, complete, but as that's happening, I do want to focus on other elements, not just in this area, but also just across the board as well. I mean, for example, we've been having some food distribution issues in parts of the nation for some time now over at Krasna. I think, actually, of course, the place I click on first is going to be perfect example of the exact opposite of the issue I'm trying to point out, though. Meat. We could be doing better about meat over here, I suppose. But up over here, we've got food and clothes here too, but no electronics. I mean, look, we know people are missing out on resources. We know people are missing out on essentials, and they've been doing so for quite some time now. So I would like to try and come back and sort some of these problems out and prepare as well for, what we need to do down over here. We, of course, we've got the stores set up, but we need to actually make sure food is coming down here. We talked about this briefly previously. I think what we'll probably end up doing is pulling crops from Karabadag down, or maybe pull crops down from Kalzina. I'm not 100% sure yet, but from one of these two spots, we'll have a train set up. We'll bring crops down. We might actually process it at Smolinets or close to Smolinets. Maybe we'll have like a food production area, much like we have a couple of them at Train Rexky, one of these little hubs over here that produces food as well as meat, if I'm not mistaken. We get meat out of here as well, right? We get the livestock farm, which then gets pushed through the slaughterhouse, and then we get some meat going on over here. What's actually the deal over here? We have quite a few crops. Maybe if we had more workers over here, we'd see a bit more output. We'll see. I mean, this has all been working pretty smoothly, so I don't want to, fix what isn't broken, basically. But my greater point being, I think I want to set one of these up, maybe two of these up, somewhere around Smolinets over here, maybe somewhere around over here. We'll figure it out, and basically process food, use that to provide jobs, and then have the food and meat get distributed through one of these larger distribution offices, one of the modded ones that we obtained a while ago. And one of the key problems we're having right now, I imagine, is that we have all of our distribution offices and distribution centers, all the way at one end of the, nation almost, they're all the way over here, and some of these places that need food and meat delivered to them are all the way, the opposite side of our nation at its current size. So, having a few more of those and also having more actual resources for them to distribute is probably not a bad set of ideas. So I just addressed this because it was brought up in the comments, and I wanted to let you know that it has been seen, and I am keeping that in mind. I'm not sure if we'll get to that today, but I did want to mention that today because it is a very crucial thing to think about moving forward. But yeah, I think today's focus is still going to be this residential area and the sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Cultural center outside of it, and the essential services center right over here in the middle, where we'll get the hospital, the fire station, all that kind of stuff. But before we get into that, I want to point out a couple of things. For one, folks, I did in fact go ahead and take a look at a couple of things. I have turned off train route signal because many of you pointed out in the comments that you too have been seeing some issues crop up ever since that checkbox was introduced. And I'm not really interested right now in getting distracted by whatever is going on with this train line that's been working for generations now in game. I don't want to go back and deal with this just quite yet. Maybe down the line when this thing becomes integrated entirely, if there's still issues, I'll go back and see what the problem might be. But without any clear idea as to what broke this, I'm going to go ahead and actually uncheck this box and send you back to this medium custom house. Right, flip you around. You should be able to go back there. I think these are two ways, right? Let's go ahead and check real quick just to make sure. Still getting used to the new UI. These are not two-way, so you're actually stuck down there unless I flip this around. Ah, that's fun. Okay, let's go ahead and sort this out real quick. This is going to be a chain. There's going to be a chain as well. I'm doing chains just so I remember what they are. So this guy will get out of here. We'll flip this around, and then that should fix everything with the checkbox unchecked. Now, hopefully, that's the fix. The other thing that I wanted to point out was that resetting the government, the citizens' government loyalty actually resets them right down to 42% or whatever it was we were seeing when the update actually happened. I do not get the question marks. I tested it out before kicking off today's session just to have an answer to that question because, no one else did, so I figured, well, I'll go chase the answer myself. Just takes a minute. And yeah, it resets everyone down to 42 or 43%, whatever it was that we were seeing when the update got pushed out. So there's no point in doing this because it sounds like the integration has worked. Maybe it's because it's an old save. Maybe it's because of other calculations that, are being taken into effect or consideration. Whatever it might be, it seems as though we are seeing the full implementation of government loyalty. So I'm not going to futz around with that. Before we go ahead and hit play, I do want to take a quick look at this ever-decreasing population. Very concerning. Unemployment has also, well, it's gone... Has it gone up? Or is it just that our greater population has reduced, and so the same number of unemployed people now account for a larger percentage of our overall population? No, I think it's probably a bit of column A, bit of column B. If we take a look at this year, yeah, unemployment is definitely creeping up. I hope that's just because of a couple of maybe train blockages here and there. I hope it's nothing too major, but we'll definitely want to keep an eye on that. And for those of you that are worrying about population loss, I just want to mention as well, the primary reason, I know I've said this a couple of times, but I think it bears repeating, the primary reason I'm fairly certain that we are losing people isn't because of basic needs. While I'm sure that is a factor in some neighborhoods, it's not because of basic needs being missing. It's because these 21 pluses are hitting the age of 30 and they're leaving. When they hit 30, they decide to go to a different country. You can see last year we had 12,000 escapes. I'm pretty sure a vast majority of those are the result of our population that hitting that 30 threshold, which is why I'm prioritizing the construction of residential spaces before I prioritize any other aspects of people's needs and all that. But with that said, let's go ahead and hit play and keep an eye on this to make sure we sort it out. Whoops, right away, right afterwards. We are not... Oh, god damn it, we do have auto build set on. Flip that around. I hope I didn't just auto build a bunch of stuff. I don't think I did. Yeah, anyway, okay, sure. Let's go ahead and hit play. Let this thing pull back. We'll flip these around and we'll be hopefully all good. The other thing I want to touch on, I'll touch on in just a moment. There was a... it's funny. I was actually looking for something last session as far as road connections are concerned, and I convinced myself that it didn't actually exist, but then you guys pointed it out in the comments that it does exist, and some of you already know what I'm talking about. I will touch on that in just a second over here. I just want to make sure these guys are... There we go. Done. You're going to get released. All right, cool. Hopefully that box being unchecked solves all of our issues here. Right, so what I was getting at was this road over here. Last session, I believe it was, I came through, I was like, wasn't there like a road from the airport over to like here that I was planning on doing? Yes, there was. It was this highway connection that many of you astute viewers remembered better than I did. We've left this kind of hanging. And now again, I don't know if this will actually serve any purpose because it's such a long distance, but it would be nice to try and bring that all the way over and connect it to over here, right? I do wonder how I might want to do that. This is one of those things that I need to, what I need to do is I need to study highway like terminals. How does it come to an end? Or does it keep going past this, right? Do I really want to have like, let's see, what's the distance between these two pieces, right? Like, are we really going to have two parallel highways come across this way so close to each other? Do they serve a purpose? If I do that, would I turn the this one, the one that goes by the airport, would I maybe turn it north separately, or do I keep it going? I'm not 100% sure. In the real world, I'm not 100% sure what that road, what purpose that road would provide. Because there's one so nearby. I mean, I guess it would be easier access to the airport. is one thing it could do. This, specifically this little branch over here. Otherwise, it is, yeah, sure, it'll be a bit faster to get over here in theory in the real world, but in this game, I'm not 100% sure the value of extending that and how we should go about extending it. I mean, what I'm thinking is we do bring it over, and maybe when we bring it over, we rework this intersection over here to actually be a four-way connection. And then I guess, yeah, it kind of just ends over here and becomes the main road for this city, right? I guess that works. Meanwhile, down over here, as many of you have suggested, and I've been thinking as well myself, we'll be making a bridge over here. This is actually really neat. This is new, isn't it? I don't remember this little dead-end roadblock signage, or not signage, but concrete blocks, or whatever you want to call them, literal roadblocks. That's I don't think that's been in the game before. That's a new visual addition, and I do quite like it. If we are going to put a bridge down over here, some of you are suggesting that we go with a metal, like a steel bridge. I mean, we could do that. I don't know how I feel about that, going through a somewhat like modern-looking city. Though I guess these are like mid-rises. I'm trying to think about the aesthetic of this space. You know, I do like how the steel bridge looks. But the concrete bridge just feels a bit more modern, I suppose, which is why I'm still leaning towards that. We'll pun entirely intended, cross that bridge when we get there, though I think the first bridge to cross is the establishment of some of these essential services. Cultural center up over here next to the bus stop. Essential services down over here. We do also need a gas station. Thank you for pointing that out. I always forget the gas station, and we will also establish more parking lots and things like that as well, as many of you have suggested. Those are probably a good idea. I don't know about, maybe we'll alternate parking lot, playground. We'll take a look at that in just a moment. I'm wondering, actually, if I do, you know what, I quite like that look there. Actually, I think I prefer this. All right, cool. Go ahead and get that grid up. Where is my, am I snapping? There we go. I'm still so used to the old user interface. If we pop you down like that, go ahead and pop you down like this. Again, I'm not sure if this will be here, but for now we're just helping it, you know, helping to create intersections. 1, 2, 3 squares. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, it's 1, 2, 3. The edge of the third grid line. So 1, 2, 3. The edge of the third grid line is where the road comes out. Try and line you up nicely. There we go. And of course this will snap. Okay, go ahead and hook these guys up as well. Yeah, I think that looks nice. And do I need to flatten this any further? It is creeping up a little bit over here. Yeah, I will need to flatten this a bit. Flatten is on this. Yes, it is. Cool. Still taking some getting used to. I won't lie to you. It will take some time to get entirely comfortable with this new user interface. That's the thing about UI updates is they're well, they're literally how you interact with the game space, right? So they can be quite jarring. Yeah, let's pay for the terraforming. It's so much faster. It's so much faster. Question is, do I want the east and west road over here to be? I say east and west, I mean east-west. Do I want this, like, perpendicular road to also be a 4-lane, you know, double one-way, whatever you want to call it, main road? Or do I want it to be a single road that's just 2 lanes, you know? I just don't know how much traffic it's actually going to see versus how much space it's going to eat up, right? Because what we could do instead is... you know, I kind of like it being... being two roads wide, 4 lanes, I guess. I kind of like it. Going to continue to flatten this. I think what I'll actually need to do is lower the terrain. It's so much faster to use lower terrain first and then going with a flatten option. Because here is where, again, the hospital, the fire station, hopefully in the future, like police stations and stuff like that, this is where all that's going to come, right? So let's make sure there's room for it all. And of course, let's make sure it's on flat ground. Universities and stuff, I mean, again, I'm thinking we'll maybe establish like a bus route to the school. We'll figure that stuff out when the time comes. I'm not sure if, you know, I actually can't remember if students can reach the university at Krasna from the train station down back there. So I'll actually check that out in a moment. Continue flattening. There we go. Yeah, you can see how much faster and smoother that is. Though we can't actually see the train. I'm sure this looks absolutely hideous right now. We'll take a look at it when the sun comes back. But why don't we go ahead and really quickly over here come up to... Where's that train station? There we go. This guy. So I'm sure Yeah. I remember establishing the underground passages. So we can actually get post-secondary education as well as some cultural, like, what's it called? Exposition? Like, I want to say exposure. Yeah, cultural exposure at Krasna, which I'm really excited to see how that actually plays out, because I want to see my citizens moving further across. Like, if you live, for example, using Toronto and the Greater Toronto area as an example, if you want to see the Royal Ontario Museum, but you live in the Greater Toronto area, yes, it is the GTA, 100%. That's what it's called. If you want to do that, you need to take a train or a couple of trains or a bus and a train. You need to travel to your destination to see the museum, the museum. There might be one closer to your home, but to see the museum or the art gallery, the big one, you have to travel. And then I would like to integrate more of that. So, I like this idea of having to travel over to Krasna Station to check out some of the as it were. Again, if you're living in the Greater Toronto area, but you still go to the University of Toronto, you bet you're going to be taking a couple of trains to get to the university, and it's a prestigious university, so it doesn't matter where you live, you might want to try and get there. And so that's the kind of like feeling I get from this place. Like, people will want to travel to get to this university or to get to this cultural hub or whatever you want to call it. So I like the idea of people having to travel a little bit for some of those bigger locations, destinations, whatever you want to call it. But of course, locally, I want to provide some, theaters and things like that as well. Like, there's not a the theater in Toronto, but that's not entirely true. There's maybe 3 places where, for example, you can get IMAX, like real IMAX, as opposed to LIMAX, which pretends to be IMAX but isn't actually. So, if you're particular about that kind of stuff, sure, you'll travel to those theaters to get that kind of an experience for an actual IMAX film, perhaps, or things like that. Yeah, sure, okay, I guess you'll travel for a special experience as far as theaters and stuff are concerned. But that's not the same thing as an art gallery or a museum or what have you. It's a little different. Or even a theater in the more, I guess, traditional sense, right? Like, there are lots of, what are they called? Like, well, theaters. There's also a lot of like musical. What are they called? Like halls and stuff in downtown Toronto. Things that you don't find outside of Toronto, which people will travel toward. So I want to try and like emulate some of those feelings as we continue to develop our nation. Of course, there's going to be more central, major hubs and minor hubs across the nation, more locally located. Are you locally located? There's some words for you. Gotta be one thing or the other, right? Alright, let's go. Again, there was that fix I'd mentioned a long time ago that I haven't implemented yet because we haven't had trouble in a very long time, but we'll see how long that lasts, I guess. Alright, just caught the edge of that plane flying by. Anyway, I think I hope I've made my point clear about why I like the traveling to Krasna element. Oh, what's going on over here, buddy? What's going on over here? We've got a whole series of issues, it seems. Okay. Move you over to Primo. Send you back to Baraharad. Try this. Oh, you're gonna be stuck here, aren't you? You gonna be able to pass through? I think so. I think you should be fine to come through, right? Can't remember. Yeah, you're coming through. Should have this crossing over here that you can pass through. In which case you can go to Petrograd. Once he comes through over there, you'll want to come to Baraharad? No, you'll want to go to Oxelinsky Steel Mill. We're going to have a jam here, aren't we? No, you're going to stop there, you're going to come through, you're going to go up there. Okay, cool. Just needed a minor fix there. Anyway, terrain I think has been largely flattened. I think I don't mind planning while flattening terrain. It's a good use of time, because I do like sharing my plans in case there's like a crucial issue that some of y'all notice that I potentially miss. Don't love the little bump there, but you know what? It's not the end of the world. Let's go ahead and get that wireframe up. Let's go ahead and pull you right down to hereabouts. Hook you up like... Oh, come on. Don't do this to me, game. This might be the thing that frustrates me the most about this game. Is the snapping of the roads. Honestly, it drives me absolutely mad. Absolutely mad. Now, here's the thing. This bridge is going to come through here. So we need to be wary of that because it will put columns down. We'll have to put buildings on either side of it, right? So just something to be careful about. And let's go ahead and flatten the train a bit more. Where are we? We are paying. Got to keep that in mind. Right from center. Go ahead and lower all you. There we go. Again, we'll be putting another residential area down over here, right? Where I'm flattening right now. Let's not forget. And I guess where I'm raising, actually. Fair enough. Ooh, that might be a bit weird, actually. Don't really want to plateau. I lower the train a little bit. Let's see if we can't have, like, sure buildings at two separate heights, I guess. Going for the smoothing. This will be interesting. This will be interesting. Alright. Do that, and then over here, go ahead and flatten a bit more. Because I was hoping that we'd get essential services on both sides. I don't know if we need that much space. We don't need, like, 3 hospitals or anything, you know, but... just wanted to make sure we had the room here. And then again, further to the south, we'll have even more housing, right? Another kind of, like, squared-off residential block like one of these. I say squared off, but it's more like a rectangle. Work with me here. Work with me here. Bit more flattening, and again, just kind of setting it up for that split that the bridge is going to create. Then we can actually get the bridge in place, like temporarily, if even that, right? Like just drop in. I think I'll drop in the concrete bridge for now because I do think that feels like it belongs a bit more. The steel bridge, I don't know. It feels very like industrial, you know. It feels like it belongs either in like really old parts of town, like it would make sense close to like Brixtonia or even Veterinkagrad because it was built so long ago. That's why we have the steel bridge for the trams. But it doesn't feel like it belongs in a more modern city, perhaps, unless it's trying to look not modern. You know what I mean? So this is why I'm kind of hesitant about the steel bridge, even though I do like how it looks as well, quite a bit. But again, maybe, you know, again, that's one man's opinion, right? That's one man's opinion. Wow, this is a giant lift in terrain. Huge excavation. Okay. I almost wonder if I shouldn't have a little plateau that the second set of housing is built on. And maybe this will like lead to that mountain over here, fair enough, but then over here we'll flatten this a bit more and lead to this mountain as well. We won't have housing down there, maybe. Maybe a sightseeing spot or something like that instead. Alright. Feeling okay about this? Kind of, sort of. Let's go ahead and continue pulling this down a bit, though. So let's say here and here. Again, doing this primarily for the bridge that's coming over. Right from center. Flatten all this. Come on, there we go. Nice and easy, nice and easy. Good stuff, good stuff. Alright. Pull you down. Okay, cool. So the bridge, again, just for now at least, doing the concrete bridge. Do not want to pay for it by mistake. I would be able to pull this right across up to here, it looks like. I don't think this will go, like... Yeah, it'll get intercepted by buildings, and I don't think I can raise it over a building. Let's see. Let's take a look, right? If I go really high up, building in the way, yeah, it's not like it'll just, like... go over a building, will it? No, it won't. Okay. Good. That would be very dystopian, I feel like. Too dystopian. But no, we can definitely take a look and see. I pull this across over to here. Yeah, that's about right, I think. And this will come like down over here or so. Sure. Mainly for planning purposes right now, right? So let's go ahead and get you hooked up to around about there. Not auto building, yeah. Get you over to here as well. And just to make sure it actually works, we'll see if we can't get the roads out we can, it looks like. We can pop you out like that. Pop you out like that. And then it'll take a bit of smoothing and stuff, but we will be able to get the roads out over here and see where that takes us, perhaps across the river or whatever ends up happening there. But this seems about right. Like, what are we looking at here? If I zoom out a bit, the rain is blocking. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 9.5. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.5. You know what? That's actually almost precisely right. I must be doing something wrong. There's no way I got that to work out so perfectly. No, absolutely no way. Absolutely no way. Let's pull you over to... Well, we'll probably have to reduce it a little bit, actually, because of, like, this road over here. If we're going to have a back road over here, which I think we will, we're going to have this going across as well. You know, this bridge might actually have to go for even further, now that I look at it. Might have to go even further, because we're going to have this road coming down this way, right? And if you're going to continue down this way... Oh, goddamn. It's free excavator nonsense is a real pain. I'm not currently building anything. Okay, cool. Go for it. Keep pushing down over to here. Yeah. Flatten away, flatten away. Don't mind if it's lower. In fact, I prefer it. Right, if it pulls down. Yeah, which is exactly what this is doing. So, I mean, again, that bridge could come to here and then become a bridge again. Right, we could have roads that go off the bridge down to connect to this back road, I guess, and to this back road as well. Though you wouldn't be able to get onto it without overcomplicating things over here a little bit. If I lower this a bit... This might be one of the biggest bridges we make. Do I want people to be able to get off anywhere else? I don't think they need to be able to get off in between here and, let's say, like, here, right? Like, they're fine getting off over here and getting involved. To, like, within this city, I think. So let's go ahead and plan around that for now, and we can course correct later if need be. Where is my terrain? I really, you know what? I don't like that the terrain is its separate tab now. I liked it when it was at the top of every construction tab. That made a lot of sense to me. Because you're, like, constantly using that, you know? You're constantly using it. So it makes sense to have super easy access to it. Alright, this is looking... okay, I think. Let's take a look. Get the road out, get the bridge out. They're so, like, bright at night. From here to... yeah. Oh my god. That is a long bridge. But I do think it's, I think it's what we need. I think it's more of what we need than a short bridge and another one. If we do a short bridge, people will drive over and... do what? I mean, I guess they'd get access to some of this back stuff. Back road area, and then we'd... okay, let me... try and figure something out over here. If I do this... not auto-build it by mistake. If I do this, right? People would be able to... get off and get to some of these, like, residential areas. If there are parking lots over here, it'll be easier access, I suppose. They might be able to access more easily from here as well. Right, but if I do this, then we have to connect to this guy. I don't know how cleanly it would work. Alright, here's what I'm going to do. Go ahead and pop you down like this for now still. Because we've built the infrastructure that allows us to skip past and go over the river. We've got that in place, so, you know, that's all well and good. This guy will have no problem staying down over here. We have such a height distance now. I don't think we're going to have any issue with that. What I don't like is how this thing drops so significantly. Like, that's a weird... that's a weird visual, you know? That's a very weird visual, actually. I don't know if I want to raise this more, or if, yeah, I want to, like, have it go all the way across over the top of all of these buildings. Like, can you... don't know how I feel about that. That is a tall, tall bridge. Alright, I gotta figure that out. But you know what? The reason why I'm saying I'm just going to put this down here for now is because I want to move on from this bridge conversation and have some of these other conversations. Because all we need this for right now is the placement of it. What I do want to do, though, is can I not select you guys? Can I not? In order to prevent your building? No? Because I want to make sure the next time I choose to auto-build a road, it doesn't automatically build these guys, but I can't select them until they've been commissioned, I guess. Okay. We'll commission them in just a moment. This is causing trouble over here? Why? Because of this guy? Because of this guy. Man, this is all starting to become a real hot mess, isn't it? A real hot mess. Alright, well, we'll have to come back over here and revisit some of this stuff sooner rather than later, as much as I would like to be able to ignore this for a little bit longer. But anyway, back over here. Let's go ahead and, I guess, commission your construction, but suspend both of your constructions. Okay, cool. That way they're not actually going to be built, but I can still use them as a marker for our construction over here. So, for citizens, let's go ahead and take a look at our state infrastructure. We're going to need a fire station. We're going to need a hospital. Now, I can build larger ones of both through mods. Let's take a look at some of our modded fire stations. Again, folks, just as a quick reminder, all mods that you see in this playthrough are available. If you go to our in a convenient mod list, if you go to the Discord linked in the description down below, there's a workers and resources channel there, and that channel does have a pinned link where you can get all of these mods. Hospital. All right, let's go ahead and see. There's this one. This is a massive hospital. I don't think we need something that big, right? Got this one over here that's tiny. Small clinic. There's this hospital that I quite like the look of. Is it too big, though? Can't build due to infrastructure. That bridge is in the way, isn't it? Indeed it is. Indeed it is. I could push this road up a little bit. Now, how much room does this hospital actually have? 150 patients versus what? 150 patients. So, I mean, why not go with the in-game hospital then, right? We could put this hospital down over here. We could get the fire station down over here. Secret police down over here. The other police related stuff down over here, perhaps. We got room for everything we'd need. We've got schools over here. We've got kindergarten over here. We got all that stuff, and the cultural center is going to be up over here, right? Sports, culture, all that kind of stuff. Okay, cool. Cool. So, sure. Got the hospital over here. Easy access to them. Easy access to the main road is important, obviously. So, why don't we go ahead and see how big the secret police office is? Quite large. Can I fit... Let's see. Fire station. Quite like how you can rotate things now. Like you got the mirror flipping. Fire station goes over here. They're very close to this intersection, so they can very easily get to the right lane, right? That's my thinking here. Though they'll actually... If they're placed on this side, they'll have to come up first. Okay, you know what? Look, it's a fire station. It needs very easy access to everything. Auto build is off. Yeah, go ahead and pop you down there and hook you up like that. Go ahead and hit play as well. Cool. Just make sure time is still moving forward. Back to you. Go ahead and get the hospital. Down over... Oh, come on now. Okay, look. Pull this thing down. I wish this would stay open as well between sessions like it used to. Like it used to. I did this because I want the hospital over here to fit nicely without giving me complaints about infrastructure. Pop you down there. Get this hooked up. Yep, and then let's get the secret police as well. Stay infrastructure. Where are we? There we go, secret police. You should be able to fit nicely over here. Can you imagine having the secret police headquarters in between, like right next to your hospital especially? I don't know, that seems a little sketch. But yeah, if we put this down over here, I'm wondering, do we put it down over here or do we put it down a little bit further away? And we can fit a gas station up over here potentially. Though I don't think that's enough room for a gas station. Okay, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and pop you down over here. I'm going to make sure no one's being built. Good stuff. They're all too far away or they're not assigned to auto assign, I guess. So I'm going to first check if a gas station will fit. Where are we? Bus stop, bus platform, car dealer, gas station. There we are. Nah, I had a feeling it's a little too big. That's fine. Barring that, we can of course get ourselves a nice monument. Makes sense to have that just outside the police headquarters, right? I think it's a fitting element. I think the larger one makes most sense. Or we could have the star. Okay, let's see. If we get the star down over here, right? And then we go ahead and get the smaller statues flanking the star. Because the bigger statue, I think, will throw off symmetry. Or it might work nicely. Hold on. Pop you down there and pop you... Yeah, it'll throw off symmetry. Oh, actually, it's like just barely off, you know? It's just barely off. Yeah, I don't like it. Not a fan, not a fan, not a fan. Let's go ahead and get... where is it? Here. Aesthetics matters, right? We're not so full of ourselves that we throw aesthetics out the door. Pop you down like so. And pop you down like so. Yes, much better. Much better. Lined up with the building's like outer edge over here, which I think works nicely. Oh, we could put a fountain down as well. I don't know if there's one that fits in this small little space over here. Yeah, these are all a little just a little too big. But that's not the end of the world because we can instead put down some trees. Nothing like a little bit of green to soften the hard edge of what's going on back over here, right? The gas station, though, that is a very essential building to have. Where would I want to put it is the question. I don't want it along the main road. You don't want people to like stop like that, right? Actually, I guess that's not really true. You have there's gas stations on main roads all the time, but I wonder up over here, somewhere up over here, maybe up over here at this terminal. So like you drive up there, you stock up on gas, and you go along on your way. A little too close to this hill over here. I don't think we'll be able to. Ooh, maybe. Oh yeah, okay, that could work. That could work. That could work. What about the car dealer? How big is the car dealer? Because if I do want people to buy cars over here, when I have parking lots, I'm going to need car dealers, right? Car dealers are also pretty small. You would also fit over here. And that does make sense up over here because you got all the, well, you got all the residences over here, right? Your local car shop. Okay, let's go ahead and flatten a bit. We can't. Am I worried about auto building anything by mistake? I am not. Let's go ahead and flatten. I'm from trying to put down a gas station to put down a car dealer instead. Story of my life. We'll get the gas station, don't worry. We'll get the gas station. Go ahead and flatten. There we go. Nice and neat. Make sure we don't auto-build this guy. Pop you down. I wonder if we go a little bit closer, actually, to the road. Go ahead and auto-build again. Come on. Pull this out. Too steep, it says. There's the flatten. Don't know how well this will work. We'll find out right now. Car dealer. Alright, cool. That actually fits. So many choppers in this neighborhood right now. We pop you down there. Again, we're not going to have an endless supply of cars, I suppose. We're not going to have a storage facility over here, but that's fine. That's not the end of the world. So car dealer over there. Something for the kids to aspire to as they graduate high school, I guess, to own a car and all that. But yes, the gas station. Won't fit over here. Way too steep, I think. Could try and... I'm assuming this is being worked on right now. These workers are coming over here, I imagine. Let's go ahead and suspend this construction. It's not an urgent construction. And back to, yeah, the gas station. Gas station, gas station. Pop you down over here to, like, terminate this, this road, maybe. I'm fairly certain we can lower this by enough. Fairly certain. If we try to lower this, we should be fine. Yeah. I'll pay for you. I'll pay for you. There we go. I think it'll fit. I think it'll fit. That'll be good. And it looks like we're making some decent progress, actually, on these buildings, so that's good. The bus stop's actually already done. We really need to get the stores done sooner rather than later, too. I'll be fine paying for a couple of rounds of food and meat maybe, but I want to make sure the distribution offices are working ASAP, right? I don't want people to move here just to starve. And again, just as a reminder, unless we specifically tell people not to move to a place, then 21 pluses now will be automatically moving anywhere across the nation. And I like that change quite a bit. I feel like it's been a long time coming. Oh, just a little bit flatter, eh? Just a little bit flatter out over here. I don't know if the game will let us do that. Don't know if the game will let us do that. Just because it's too close to the tracks, maybe. And we'll do the infrastructure. Need flat terrain, yeah. Music coming to a conclusion there to mock me. Hide from center, maybe? Oh, there we go. It's just a matter of, like, finding the right combination of tools to use for the right occasion, I guess, sometimes. And will that do the trick? Yes, it will. Beauty. Go ahead and flatten. Done. Do not auto-build. And again, we have to make sure we're actually distributing gas over here as well, right? Pop you down like so. Cool. I think that'll work nicely. Yeah. All right. So, I mean, where does gas come from? Like all the way down over here. You take the road up over. No, you wouldn't do that. You would go up this way through the bridge, I guess. You know, this is why I feel like highway access from down over here is not a bad idea. If we get this connection going, right, all the way down over here and over to here or over to here, then the gas that needs to be delivered up over there will have such a shorter route. That's actually really cool. It would like move so much more quickly going down like this, over, let's say connect here and connect over here, or however we end up doing it, versus going up, over, where is it, down through this tunnel, and then what, over, down, over, I mean, Jesus, it's a mess. I don't think I have to go beyond that to point out just how much of a difference it would make, right? Things are looking pretty good over here. Things are looking pretty good over here. But yeah, where are our stores as far as progress is concerned? Doing okay. Missing bricks and boards. Really? It sounds impossible. Bricks has always been plentiful. Where are we? Alright. Is it because of these boats staying here for too long, potentially? Yeah, let's go ahead and move you with all your bricks. Do you actually not pick up steel? Do you pick up steel instead? Yeah, you pick up steel. And bricks. Alright, so let's go ahead and get you moving over to St. Partia's cargo harbor. Quickly now. We gotta get those 300 tons of bricks over. And we'll have, how many tons of steel here? Over 100 tons of steel. Moving over shortly as well. Bricks and boards are missing as well, though. Now, boards should be coming from a couple of different spots. We did plant trees last session, so I'm hoping that that catches up pretty soon. Where are we? Down over here. We have 16 tons. We've got some boards. Not nearly enough for that entire construction, obviously, but it's coming. It's coming. Slowly but surely. It's coming. Alright, good stuff. Population continues to drop. We were at 85k right at the beginning of this session, if memory serves me right. Population is dropping quickly. Unemployment has skyrocketed. Oh, that's not good. There's a jam or something somewhere, isn't there? Something's up somewhere. This is the highest it's been in a while, and remember, it's not like the construction has stopped or anything like that. This is a problem born out of something else. Going to people waiting over here. Why are you not dropping people off? Yeah, why are you still carrying people back? What's going on over here? Apart from the trouble with electricity. Well, this is not ideal. This is not ideal. I mean, I assume that's not helping, obviously. In Krasna, what's going on over here? Okay, I was like, why are they all disappearing? They are getting onto a train, so there's that. Now, I was making some more buses to further help the Krasna situation, so why don't we go ahead and take a look at that. This one's almost done. That one's being sold. Let's go and move this one over here. I don't know if I need more buses to move workers or if I need more buses to move like passengers and stuff around. Not 100% sure, but we will check. After this one's done, I think we'll take a look at the situation at Krasna and make sure we make the appropriate adjustments. I want to make sure these guys are able to go and get their like gas and stuff as well before we assign them routes and all that. Come on now, any second. Any second. There we go. Push you over to there. We'll sort that out in just like 2 or 3 minutes or so. But I do think Krasna, let's just take a look while we're waiting for that to happen. What's going on here? Passengers. I think we need passengers. Like passenger buses, I mean. There's that one, and there's this one. Also needs passenger buses. Like, why are we so... I guess we're just jammed up, eh? There's just like traffic congestion is slowing everything down. I think that's the problem here. I'm trying to figure out what we can do retroactively to sort that. Trying to figure out what we could do to sort that. See, a big mistake I've made is not allowed the buses to move up to this road instead. Like I've not allowed the buses to stay off the main road, which I think is causing a big part of the issue. But I can't give them a waypoint to just like be elsewhere, you know? I could give them a waypoint to like come down over here and stay off the main road for a bit, but like what good is that going to do us? I guess I could keep them... Yeah, you know, actually I guess I could keep them off the main road for quite a bit if I bring them down south. Let's see. Let's see. Come on. Because again, it might not be necessarily a matter of the number of buses, but it might be a matter of how slowly they're moving. Passenger loop. Right. That's not what I meant to do. So you're going over there. You go to Krasna first, you pick people up, you come around, you go over here, you pick people up, and then you go out this way. I wonder if... Okay, let's try this. Let's try this, right? I'm gonna pause for a second because I do have to destroy... I'm gonna go ahead and pin you as well. Alright, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and destroy that. I'm gonna go ahead and connect the road. Building in the way? What are you talking about, building in the way? Come on. There we go. Connect you. They have to come down to this road because this is a one-way entry into this bus stop. But if I can like just free up a bit of space over here, that might make a world of difference. I'm going to go ahead and actually upgrade this road. Go ahead and pay for you. All right, let that go through. Might help speed things up a little bit over here. Close this real quick. That opened up again. Just wanted to see if there was an adjustment. So from Krasna, I want you to then go to... Again, we got to get the waypoint placed over here. They'll come up this way, come down here instead of over here. Like, I don't know how much of a difference that'll make, but maybe it'll make something of a difference. They'll come down, go in, pop back out. And then, yeah, we'll have you go... You pop back out, we'll have you go... like down here, I suppose. Not the biggest fan of putting waypoints down sometimes. They seem a little arbitrary, you know? But okay, so Krasna. From Krasna, we take... It does look like some of them are already adjusting their route. Take a look again? Nah. Might have just been luck, because you can see these guys. Line details? Yeah, I don't know. But anyway, sorry. Getting repeatedly distracted there. Select you. So you go there, then you come down, you go up, then you go back up. Honestly tempted to put a waypoint down over here instead. We got this one, sure. Nope, that's not what I meant. How do I delete stop? St. Elitesburg, so you take the waypoint, you come in over here, get in, get out. Which one's this one? This one's this one over here. Okay, and this one is, presumably, this one up over here. Yeah, okay, cool. So after this one, I want people to come out and go over to here, after which they keep on creeping down up to here, pick people up, come up, and they really go all the way around to over here, eh? from where people go where? Wait, no. Pin you. And from here, people go to the station, right? To the train station. Yeah. So rather than that, why don't we go ahead and, yes, take advantage of the new option, which is to move people to here directly and drop off all of the passengers. Oh no, you know what? You know what? I just realized that's not why they come here. Once they come here, they should... Sorry, I was looking at workers. Passengers can go wherever they want. Right. So that was my bad. That's my bad. Let's go ahead and get rid of you. And instead... Get you coming here. Yeah. Unload all of the passengers. Save that. Cool. That might be a bit cleaner. Maybe a little bit less congested. And maybe that'll allow better flow of traffic down the middle here. So once they're done here, actually, what we might want to do is add... Yeah, actually, not just might, but definitely. We're going to go ahead and add this waypoint at the end as well. And boom, there you go. This section now should be a lot less congested. Yes, a little bit of congestion over here. But at least, like, this section should be a little bit less packed. I'm hoping, right? And we could probably do that to a couple of the lines that come through here. Right, there's the Culture Center line. Now, this one's fine. There is... What is this? I think this one's fine as well. I mean, yeah, we could send this down as well, actually, if we wanted to. Which one are you? You are this one, okay. You go from there. Then we get into this waypoint over here. You get sent over. And then you come back. You go to this waypoint. Accept changes. Boom. Again, freeing up that main road. Might make things a bit more efficient. Sure. That's this one. What about this one over here? Krasna Central Shuttle. You go this way. Which I don't think is as bad. The truth be told, could probably build a waypoint down over here to bring these guys straight down and across here instead. Wait, did I just cut off electricity up over here and not fix it? I just realized. I did, didn't I? Where is that? Over here? Oops. Yikes. Go ahead and fix that. Where are we? Medium. I believe this one. There you go. That was, yeah, oops. Now where do I click to auto-build this guy? You know, like... I'm so... Got you built. I guess I gotta click on that, and then... Yeah, not the biggest fan of this new, this aspect, at least. Alright, cool. We should now have power. Yeah, little bit of an oops. And I only noticed that because I've got this line over here. So why don't we go ahead and... where are we? God damn, where are we? Power. There we go, energy. Transportation. I'm so used to infrastructure, including energy, you know? We'll get there. Go ahead and hook this up. Screw it. Let's go all the way. Hook this up. Go ahead and commission. Go ahead and build. Go ahead and hook these guys up. Don't like that. Pull you down. There we go. There we go. Oh my god, that's hideous. It's hideous, I tell you. There we go. Cool. Pay for you? That's not how that works. Go ahead and pay for you. There we go. Cool. Looks like some of these buses are already using this side, or this this new road. I don't think that's intentional though. Bringing people up there, you can stay on that road actually. That main road makes much more sense for that. But there was the shuttle, I believe. Krasna Central Shuttle, which after the Krasna Extra Large bus station over here should go to the waypoint. Let's go ahead and pin this and pin this. build our waypoint down over here, sure. And then add... Oh yeah, you know what? It has made the adjustment on its own. Well then. I like when the game does that. Go ahead and get rid of that waypoint. Again, I'd rather not have all those pink dots littered across my roads. Even though I can't see them all the time, they still bother me. Alright, cool. That should make it easier for people to come down over here. People coming over to here still have to go through that main road, but that's okay. I don't think the congestion will be as bad anymore. Now that at least the buses are using a different route, by and large, by and large. So we'll see what that results in potentially. But it does still look like passengers are the key problem over here. Oh, I mean, I say that, but it's all moment to moment, It's all moment to moment. You can't make a judgment call based on just this. That's not enough to go on, right? Oh, there's a lot more workers there now, so that means the problem's been solved, and it's just a matter of worker buses. That's not how that works. Missing resources, bricks. These all missing resources? Maybe not necessarily right now, but they will be. What are bricks looking like up over here? Lots of bricks, lots of steel. Excellent. Boards. Still stuck at 16 tons, or looking better? Well, at least it's being shipped around, so there's that. Alright, we'll keep an eye out. We'll keep an eye out. We should have a train coming through with boards as well, right? From the old city, I believe. I do believe we bring boards down from up over here as well, but at least the bricks are through. This is the stuff that slows you down when you're establishing a new part of the nation. Alright, we've got fire, police, and hospital up over here. Cultural stuff. Cultural, the first thing I hover over is alcohol. Culture. Get a gallery of art in here, maybe. A theater. Again, I don't want it to be like too much, right? I don't want to be overdone. Cinema, of course, makes sense. We can get a theater or two going in, right? Get a couple of gyms, some more sports, and some more culture, but just not overdone. I wonder how I want to go about actually. Let's see if I pull this up like so and grab you and keep snap on and pull you up as well. I just wonder if I want to have that one-way thing continue, or if it ends over here, if this is just a single lane instead. Well, let's see what fits here nicely. Looking for cinema. Pop you down like this. Again, people will be able to cross over easily enough, I think. We will need to auto-build, though, to do the flattening, of course. There we go. Flatten a bit more. Again, just kind of planning right now. Hook you up like that. Good stuff. We want to make sure that people are able to come down from the bus stop as well. Let's not forget. Want to make sure that people are able to make their way over. See if this footpath will work. Bring you down there. Loop you around. Yeah, okay, this could actually work. That works. All right. And we'll see if we can connect into the backs of all these buildings, right? If I send you over this way, hook you up like that, hopefully this should connect to the bus stop. Yeah, okay, great. I don't think people will be able to walk over from elsewhere unless we connect them to the road, obviously. So they'll be forced to take the bus, which, again, I don't mind, but I think I would rather they be able to take the just walk over as well, right? Especially when something's so close. But okay, that's a theater. We want to get some more sports in, though, right? Because we just right now have the bowling alley and the gymnasium, which is not nearly enough. Over to the mods, over to sports playground. I believe there's the big sports hall that I wanted to include. To me, a sports hall falls in the same thing as like a cultural center. A community center is the word I think I'm actually looking for. A community center kind of a vibe, yeah. Gotta pay for the flattening here. But I think that works quite nicely. Come on, where'd you go? Where'd that sweet spot go? There it is. There we go. Flatten away. Go ahead and pop you down like so. Where'd it go? Alright. A little bit more flattening required, I guess. Not too bad. Go ahead and pop you down. Thought something like collapsed over here. Okay, excellent. So we should be able to hook this up as well. Yeah, there you go. And this, I'm sure people are able to walk over from the bus stop. Yeah, okay, excellent. What else do we want to put down over here, though? Do we want to put down playgrounds and stuff? Like for, again, babies to be dropped off, perhaps? They have to be within walking distance. I don't think people take their babies via bus to anywhere, really. So I do wonder about that. Or are we fine with this? Are we fine with how this is right now? And instead, all we need now are a couple of parking lots down over here for when people eventually get their cars, right? Because my one concern is making this main road too busy, and I wonder if I should instead put the parking lot on like the edge over here. I don't think I can get a very large one. But, like if I get one, again, just planning right now, right? If I get one like over here and over here, right? On these like really, just make sure you you know, put the handbrake down, I guess. But if I get them parked over here, you know, ideally they'd be like kind of step parking kind of a thing going. I think people would be able to walk over relatively easily. Go ahead and get this footpath connection just to see. Right, like quite a few people, quite a few of these residents. Oh, actually, all of them will have access to those parking lots. So that's an option. I can have parking back over here. My concern is, again, just the pressure, I guess, applied to the main road if I put parking lots all the way up and down this. Instead, we could put playgrounds and stuff, right? Because if we go back and take a look at our parking lots over here, things tend to get congested here. And again, I'm not 100% sure if it's because of the buses, if it's because of the parking lots, or if it's because of both. I mean, right now, things seem to be moving smoothly, but again, we're looking at a snippet, right? We're looking at a fraction of the representative time, you know, to actually point out any issues. But yeah, it's a lot of workers waiting actually over here right now. Are these buses full? Yeah, they're full. They're full. Okay, that's promising. That's promising. Okay. I mean, actually, I will say this road has cleared up tremendously. All these buses now using these back roads has made a huge difference. Has made a huge difference. Feeling pretty good about that. Feeling pretty good about that. You could say we're busting up the congestion. Oh god, it's... Oh, okay. No, but I mean, jokes aside, this does seem to be making a big difference. We still have passengers waiting from time to time, of course. I'm just trying to figure out, because you can see how like these buses have arrived like basically just in time. Why have you only picked up 35 people? Well, I think people only get onto a bus that'll actually take them to where they want to go. So it could be that we're not fulfilling their needs in the destinations, right? So we should take that into consideration as well. Some of these guys are looking for stores that have meat, and really they should be able to walk to them, but unfortunately, that's a whole different problem. Food is lacking here as well. Yeah, those are definitely issues that we'll want to take a look at sooner rather than later. But you know what? I'm feeling pretty good about the situation over here. I'm thinking next time we'll want to do what? We'll want to establish maybe the next residential block over, or actually maybe not even that. Maybe it's time we work on the food and meat and clothing requirements of Krasna and St. Elitsburg and see what we can do about that. I don't know if, you know, bringing stuff from Kalzina and Karabadag would be the best solution for Krasna and St. Elitsburg, or if maybe we instead just import more from, I think Boraharad is where we're already bringing in some food from, right? Maybe it's time to bring in some meat as well. If we want to pursue self-sustainability afterwards, then sure, we can try that as well. But I think in the meanwhile, we have to be very realistic with ourselves and realize that maybe we need to, just for a little while, import from our allies, as we have maybe moved past the agrarian economy, right? Like, we still have farms, we still have some farming and stuff going on. I mean, we have quite a bit of farming and stuff going on, but we've perhaps outgrown those old days. I don't know. Y'all let me know what you think about that. I know I ask this question every so often, but I'm always curious because sentiments changed, like mine did. I was like, no, we need to be 100% self-sustaining on this stuff. And then I realized over time, you know what? No, we have more rural neighboring nations, I'm sure, that we can import those things from while we explore things like nuclear energy and who knows what else. But folks, all that exploration won't be today, of course. This is where we're calling it a session. I hope you enjoyed this one, because I certainly did. I always do. I love this game. It's got so much going for it. Big fan of it, folks. I hope you've been enjoying it, but if you are, the best way to let me know is by leaving a like and a comment down below, as I'm sure you are very well aware by now. A massive thanks goes out to all of the channel members and patrons who've been supporting the channel on a monthly basis. Y'all keep us alive and running smoothly. And of course, a big old thanks goes out to each and every one of you for watching. Until next time. До свидания.